Little bit of history here. Again, I'm not testing you on history. Leucippus lived in the 5th century BC, and his student Democritus, what was that, the 4th century BC and 3rd, were the first to propose that matter was composed of small, indestructible particles, and they gave these particles the name atomos. They were Greek, they used Greek words. So Democritus wrote, "Nothing exists except atoms and empty space, everything else is opinion." They proposed there were many different kinds of atoms, they were each a different shape and size, and they moved randomly through empty space. This was a huge new idea, in 400 BC. It's a long time ago. Have you guys heard of Leucippus and Democritus? They probably didn't teach you about that in high school, those guys, right? Have you heard of Aristotle and Plato? Yeah. So these guys were a lot more influential in their time. And they didn't believe this idea of smallest pieces. They said matter does not have particles. It's infinitely divisible. And the different substances are composed of various proportions of fire, air, earth, and water. Of course, we know this to be untrue now, that this is what they believed. So we got these two camps. There's particles and there's not particles. There was no way to experimentally test this. This really isn't science. This is philosophy. These are guys sitting and thinking about what the world is made out of. But there's no way to test it. So it came down to a popularity contest, essentially. Aristotle's view became the accepted view because he was more influential. So people believed him, even though it turns out he was wrong. And science was set back 2,000 years. Later, the scientific approach, the scientific method became the established way to learn about the natural world. And so we take a hypothesis and we don't just believe it because it sounds good, we test it. And we either disprove it or support it. So, an English chemist, John Dalton, born in 1766, died in 1844. Again, still a long time ago. He had some convincing evidence that supported the ideas of Leucippus and Democritus, that there were smallest particles. So he had ideas, but there really wasn't any proof yet, and so the debate continued until 1905.